Lordy, Lordy, Lordy. Look who the cat drug in. We got Matt. I'm Jay, the moderate Texan. We're here, we're live, and we're looking to bring you right back to the middle. Ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be a great show today. We're going to talk a little bit about the last game, which was Texans versus Giants. It was ugly. We can't deny it. It was ugly. It was very ugly. We didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't like watching the film, honestly. It wasn't the best. But I'm doing it for y'all. I'm going to show you why it wasn't as ugly as we thought and why the Texans aren't as bad as we think. We still need a quarterback. But we're not as bad as we think. As I said, Matt's back. Welcome him back, y'all. He's about to be in Houston. He's about to be in EH. Put him up. It's going to be a fun time, y'all. It's going to be a fun time. I'm about to be down there with him. We're going to have a lot of fun. Pictures will be taken. I'll share them on Twitter. He probably will as well. He'll probably have more pictures than I will.
Facts.
And it'll be a great time. As always, our social media is down below. Twitters are down below. Spotify, all that junk. It's all down below in the description. Check us out. If you're watching or listening on Spotify or any of the other podcast outlets, that information will be in the description as well. Don't forget, of course, like always, to like, comment, and subscribe. It's free. And it helps me know what you guys want. And then, like always, I always ask this: what do you guys need me to pray for? If you don't want to put it in the comments, you don't want to put it in the chat, go ahead, send me a DM on Twitter, or you can email me if you're on YouTube. That is in the it's there in my information there. Or if you guys don't have it, it is themoderatetexan@gmail.com. Again, that is themoderatetexan@gmail.com. All right. Let's jump on in. As you guys know, we always go from the introduction to the quick side note. This time, the quick side note is going to be on something that I really enjoy doing, which is playing video games. There's a little conundrum that's there, though. We've noticed that over the last, decade or so, or a little further back, say 15 years, video games have kind of started the takeover. It's been video game takeover season. A lot of kids playing it, a lot of people playing it, and it takes over people's lives. But it's not really just video games, it's technology as a whole, right? They've kind of gotten a bad rap. Everybody remembers Columbine High School, and I do not condone what happened at Columbine High School, and no one does, right? And any other shooting for any other school. Video games kind of got the rap for that, right? Shootings in schools have gone up because of video games. You got the moms against video games, and the dads against video games, and all that stuff kind of happened, and it wasn't really fair. Or was it? I don't know. We're going to take a look at that. So, Matt, do you play games? I know you play Madden.
I do. I play a lot of Madden, and that's about it.
That's about it. All right.
That's about it.
Using that Xbox for Madden. That's cool. That's cool. I played a lot of games. I play a lot of first-person shooters. I was in the Halo wave with Halo, Halo 2, and Halo 3. So Halo Combat Evolved was my jam back in the day. Of course, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, World at War, Modern Warfare 2, which in my opinion is one of the best, if not the best Call of Duty of all time. I know the chat's going to flame me for that because they're going to say Black Ops or Black Ops 2. They're wrong. It's Modern Warfare 2, period. And various other games. I play a lot of first-person shooters. I played a lot of RPGs, a lot of things. And what I will say is video games as a whole kept me off the street. They kept me out of things that could hurt me, honestly. They kept me out of bad situations. They kept me out of gangs. They kept me out of drugs, kept me out of things that I had no business being in. But so did playing basketball in the street with my friends and football and other sports. What do you say about that, Matt? What about you?
I grew up in a very different environment. Yeah, I spent my entire life growing up playing video games, but I also I had that healthy balance like Jay had. I spent plenty of time outdoors playing sports, roaming around in the woods, walking railroad tracks, which is probably a little bit illegal, but I had to make the cool penny somehow, tape a penny down to the railroad tracks. Yeah, I did that all the time as a kid. But yeah, just we grew up in very different environments. So I never had to worry about gangs or drugs or hardcore violence, like any of that. Like, it was like a typical day for me was go out, play until sun went down, come in, play video games for a little bit, and that was it. But yeah, video games are definitely a big part of my life.
Yeah. I would say that, yeah, like, well, you said we've had the positives. There are some negatives. I wouldn't say that I've had a lot of negatives, but maybe besides wanting to play all the time and never having the time to play. I think as you just kind of get older, you just kind of realize you just don't have the time. But what I have seen is an uptick in cyberbullying, particularly. What's up, Fishy? What's going on, man? Good to see you. One thing that I noticed in high school was if you were getting bullied, you were getting bullied in person. It's kind of how it went, right? Like if you were going to get bullied, people were going to bully you in person. They weren't going to bully you, online as much, because that just wasn't what was going to happen. Eden in the building. What's up, y'all? Got Beige in the building. Welcome in. But yeah, that wasn't what was really going to happen, right? You weren't going to get bullied online, but that's what's kind of started happening now. That and social media have kind of caused that. Is that good? No, we've seen a lot of suicides because of that, and I'm not cool on that, yo. I'm not big on that. But what about you, Matt? Have you seen anything like that yourself?
Not particularly, because like I live in relatively like a very small community, so like everyone here knows each other. Like it's a very tight bond. So normally, if like someone has something to say, they're gonna say it to their face. But we're growing up in such a fake generation where some people are too afraid to say what they want to say in person. So they're gonna try to be keyboard heroes and warriors and say what they want online and not take into consideration the damage that could be on the other side of the screen. And it's tough, but that's unfortunately the way things are going right now.
Yeah, as Eden is saying, right? The OG COD lobbies were insane.
Those were crazy.
I don't know how many kids said that they were doing terrible things to my mother or my sister or whatever, and then I had to lean forward in the chair and end their careers before they began. Right? We all know how it went, right? That's just how it went. And y'all might have been some of them. I don't know. But is there a way that we can reverse that type of trash talking that happens over the internet like that? Is there a way that we can get back to a society that isn't as brash or keyboard heroes or keyboard warriors? I'm not so sure. But what I do know is that video games and really technology as a whole have helped people tremendously, right? We're at a spot right now where all of us can interact with each other. In fact, in the Texans Thoughts Discord, for a while, we've been trying to get a bunch of people to play Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 2. Like, we're growing as a family like that. We've played Among Us together. We've played various games, right? That's something like, as Beige is saying, it can bring a lot of people together. But just like in sports, you have those bad fans that ruin it for everybody. They have that negative effect on people. It's got to be recognized. It is what it is. But I'll still keep playing them. And that has been your quick side subject. Next week, we'll talk about something else. Let me know in the comments. Is there some type of subject, like last week we had that Veterans Day thing? Something else that y'all want me to kind of talk about real quick? I love debating stuff. I love having discussions like that. Let me know. But you know what time it is. It's time for us to start breaking down the film. That's what y'all are here for. We're not here for a long time. We're here for a good time. And I don't know if this is a good time or not, but it is a time, to say the least. But let's go ahead and get this shared. Let's go ahead and look at it real quick. Let me get it up. Let's share this. All right. I lost something. Hold on one second. Give me 1 second, guys. There we go.
Beige, you didn't have to do Lonnie like that. I'm sorry, but you didn't have to do like that.
This man did Lonnie dirty. All right. Let me get this up. Cool. Awesome. Glorious day StreamYard has. All right. So let's get this play started. Let me get us to the right spot, which is going to be very quick in the game. It's our first drive. It's 56 seconds in. Let me just stop right there. All right. So let's go on. Let's Lonnie landing on IR. That's a glorious day for the Titans because he ain't that great. He ain't all that. All right. Let's get this first play going here. All right. So before it even starts, let's take a look at the defense, right? Let's see what's happening. The line is crowded. 5 guys on the line. We also have 6 dudes chilling here on our line. I really want that to kind of be seen because it's kind of a big deal, right? That we have 6 guys there. So we've got the 6 guys here. It looks like we've got some type of man coverage, single high safety. Davis Mills is in the shotgun here, right? He already knows what's kind of happening here. He can probably tell that maybe 6 guys are coming. There might be a blitz happening here. So he should kind of have an idea what the hot route is. He should have an idea what the play should be and what he should be doing, right? Let's get this play started. Let's see what happens. And it's a run that's stuffed in the backfield. But it's not just any run. I want y'all to notice something. I want y'all to look at the bottom of the screen. At roughly the 35-yard line. At a man that lost his captain's tag. What's happening here? Matt, what do you see going on here?
I'm seeing the Texans run yet again a piss poor RPO, and Davis Mills continuously makes the wrong reads. So, will he be the starting quarterback if he keeps this awful audition going on? I don't. With as bad as the run defense is, and as good as Bryce Young is, I don't know if we're gonna go Jalen Carter #1 or Bryce Young, but either one would be an immediate upgrade to both sides of the ball, which we desperately need.
Facts. I've been saying this for weeks, y'all. Y'all know it. I've said it several times. I said it, I think, in the second week, and you can pull up my Twitter history on this. I said that Mills is the worst RPO quarterback in the NFL. He routinely makes the wrong reads. And here's why I say this. What he's looking at here is this guy right here. He's checking to see. Remember, and Jordan kind of explained this, I guess, and I think it was the 4th game against the Chargers, I believe is what it was. Jordan and I kind of explained this. What's happening here is Mills is checking this guy here to see if he comes crashing down. If he comes crashing down, he's going to pull this ball out of the chest of Dameon Pierce, and he's going to throw it right here to Cooks. If this guy stays there, he's going to hand the ball off to Dameon Pierce. The problem is that if he simply looks, right, which is what he's supposed to kind of be doing, kind of doing a quick look around over here, he'd see that this side is getting overloaded. And why is this happening? Well, it's quite simple, actually. Every team in the history of the league knows what Davis Mills is going to do. They know that if you stand there, he's going to hand the ball off and the ball's going to go to the left. That's what's going to happen. Instead of pulling it down and putting a little fakie on this guy and letting Cooks go up against essentially one-on-one coverage where guys 10 yards downfield, he instead hands the ball off, and this gets blown up. Case in point, well, there we go. And if you don't believe it's that bad, let's look at it from the other angle. Davis Mills sees all of this right here. He's in the shotgun. It's made for him to look at all this and see what's going on. He can see 7 guys right here in the box. Off goes Cooks. Look, he's watching this guy. But everybody knows what's happening. Everybody's overloaded this side. This was going to get blown up from the start because everybody knows what he's going to do. He's not a running threat. He saw this guy stand still. He's not going to pass it. Mistakes were made. Davis Mills has to be better at stuff like this. Otherwise, we're going to continue to lose games because he cannot play a run the RPO. All right, enough of seeing that stuff. Let's move on to the next play. All right, that's 5 minutes, 15 seconds in.
My man Beige out here threatening to bring up my Twitter history.
Got bad stuff in your closet there?
No, there ain't nothing bad on my Twitter.
All right, this one is going to feature some rookies and some rookie mistakes. So let's take a look here. Let's see what's going on. Remember how I've been saying that there's a lot of max protect going on by the Texans? Well, the Giants are doing the exact same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the line, Barkley in the backfield, and 2 receivers. That's as close to max protect as you're going to get here. Against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the line. So the Giants should win in pass protection here. They have enough people on the line. All right, Beige, you have a good one, man. I see you got a bounce there. So let's kind of see what happens. We got single high safety. I think Petrie is down here at the line. Let's see what's going on here. And my bad, this one is not on the rookies. There's one rookie and one not rookie. All right, so we can see. Let's start with Matt. What do you see here? What's going on?
There was some obvious confusion there in zone coverage. Stingley followed him around to that second bottom pass and was expecting Jonathan Owens to pick him up and run with him. So, and you can kind of see Stingley back off there. But that wasn't the case, and I think that was Darius Slayton maybe that caught that ball.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
Yeah, so Stingley kind of lets off the gas, and Jonathan Owens just continues to play back, and that's constantly what got Lonnie burnt.
That is unfortunate that you bring up Lonnie, because that's honestly how Jonathan Owens is playing right now.
And
if y'all don't know, go ahead.
I think the only reason we don't give Jonathan Owens the same amount of criticism as we gave Lonnie is because Jonathan Owens isn't posting on social media 24/7 talking about the one good play he's had from 2 or 3 years ago, or bringing up his old college highlights talking, I'm a dog, rah. But
yeah,
no, Jonathan Owens, undrafted rookie from his class. So, there's room for improvement, but at the end of the day, I'd rather take my chances with a guy in the draft than keep going with Jonathan Owens. Jonathan Owens will be a solid special teams player to have, but as a starting free safety, I'd rather have something I can build off of.
Agreed. So here's something that I really want y'all to see here, and this is why I've been a bit upset with Jonathan Owens lately. So one of the things that I haven't really talked about this, but I have kind of said this quietly to some other people. Jonathan Owens continues to make the mistake of thinking he's going to get burnt deep, as if he's the only deep safety that's there, and he needs to help out deep before he helps out underneath. That's kind of the issue. You can see that here. He's up here looking at who Nelson has, who he's actually got on lock, instead of taking the person who's crossing his face. That's the problem. That's what we've been seeing play after play from Jonathan Owens, is that he continues to do this. He never assertively goes forward to take out the person that's in that zone underneath. Had he followed him, this would have been not as big of a gain. It probably would have still been a first down, but it wouldn't have been a 30-yard gain, right? It would have been maybe 10, maybe 8. But because he backs off and then reacts slowly, we have that. And here's why I really say, I don't know if you'll be able to see it from this next angle here, but here's kind of why I say this, right? He's back, he's deep, he's all alone. You don't see Stingley in this frame yet. He's out. Look, what's the point? You can see Stingley's on the other side of the field. He's coming in and taking your spot. Nelson even kind of is like, come on, what's going on here? Nelson's got his guy. He had his man. If he throws that ball, that's a pick or a pass breakup. But this shouldn't have been that big of a play. And it shouldn't have been that big of a play because Owen should have been up on that guy. And that's kind of the issue that we're seeing there. All right, let's get to that next play. 18-24. All right. A little too far back. All right. So this play, remember y'all, Pierce is a dog. If I had an equal sign up right now, it would be Pierce on one side and dog equals other. Like it would just be that. Pierce equals dog, right? Let's look at this play. Beautiful run here. Beautiful run by Dameon Pierce. I'll take it to start here. What I really like about this is, first, Kenyon Green mauls his man, which, if I'm correct, that might be Kayvon Thibodeau. He just gets mauled here. Yeah. Kenyon just says, "Nah, get down." Tunsil pushes his man 10 yards down the field, and Pierce just kind of follows him patiently. Doesn't get touched, and when he doesn't get touched, he breaks it for 44 yards. Now, I know Joey, I had texted him during this game, and he said Dameon Pierce is slow as a mug. I would say to that, he did just run 3 plays in a row, literal sprints. He had like a 12-yard gain, a 5-yard gain, and then a 44-yard gain. It's a lot of sprinting back to back to back. It's a great play, and I wish he would have scored. But the last time we saw him break a big run like this, it was for 75 yards and a tutty. And that was the first play from scrimmage of that drive. So it was a great play. But Matt, what do you think about this play?
Dameon Pierce, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Anyone who disagrees can fight me on that. But Dameon Pierce did such a great job following his blocks here. And I believe, like, we pointed this out when we was reviewing the film, but that was one of the first times he wasn't met at the line of scrimmage or shortly, like, after the line of scrimmage. So, like, he probably didn't get touched until, like, 42 yards after he got the ball. But this is why I'm excited for the addition of Eno Benjamin to the squad, is hopefully he can kind of take some of the load off of Dameon Pierce. So next time Dameon Pierce gets around like this, it is for 6. So exactly. We can keep rotating and have fresh legs, like, between Dameon Pierce and Eno. Maybe give Dare a couple snaps here and there, but I mean, it's a great run by Dameon Pierce and great blocking.
Exactly. Great blocking. That's something that needs to really be stated. This was great blocking by both Tunsil and Kenyon Green. That's what springs this run. They take their guys out. They do their job, a hat on a hat. And Pierce is in the secondary where he's lethal. And that's all we could ask for. All right. We've seen enough of the Offensive Rookie of the Year. At least he's got my vote if I had a vote. Let's move on to the next play. Now, I'm unfortunately going to be continuing to beat a dead horse. It's unfortunate, but y'all need to really see why I think he's the worst RPO quarterback. Matt, what do you see here?
I seen Davis Mills panic when he saw that linebacker perfectly guess the snap count, and a very frustrated Philip Dorsett wondering why the ball was handed off in that situation.
Exactly. Again, look at this. Why are you running this ball? What's the point in running it here? You have Tegan Cotoriano right there. You have Philip Dorsett with 2 blockers. Why? It makes no sense. He continues to make the wrong read. Yes, Kayvon Thibodeau does not actually bite. He doesn't go down here. He stays for the run. But there is not enough help out here. It's too far off the line. He could have thrown this ball and he would have had space and it would have been a much bigger game, most likely. But Mill doesn't play the numbers game. He plays the I'm scared game. And that's why he's the worst RPO quarterback in the league. I mean, we could even see it from this angle, right? He gets scared. He doesn't even looking at the right spot, which should have been Thibodeau over there, right? He's looking at this dude who's coming down. He should be looking over here. He panics, messes up, and that costs the Texans excellent opportunities at getting more yards. All right, let's get to this next play. And this next play, I like to dub it rookie mistakes. And it's an unfortunate one at that. I went too far. All right. Again, looks kind of similar to the play the Texans just ran. 3 on the outside. We got 5 at the line. Here's Tavia Thomas here. Looks like we've got 2 high safeties, but it's more man coverage here. I think this is Chris Harris right there. Let's see what's going on here. Good call out there. Yes, that was Tegan Cotoriano, who also makes a run block. Let's see what happens here. Darius Slayton for 6. Now, this play should have never happened like it did. I agree that he should have gotten the catch, but he should not have gotten the touchdown. This play should have been stopped at the jump. But Petrie panicked. This is 3rd down. All he has to do is tackle him. He didn't have to lay the wood. He just has to tackle him. He's 6 yards beyond the line of scrimmage right there, or the first down marker. All he's got to do is tackle him. This would have been a 3, and this would have been a stop. And a great play by the Texans, but Petrie makes a rookie mistake. He panics. He realizes, oh man, I got beat and I allowed him to get the catch. And rather than wrapping up, he overruns and allows Slayton to get around him. Do you see anything else in that play, Matt?
I seen what I think is Christian Harris. He also tried to fly in and make the tackle, like right around, I think it's the 40. Yeah. But him trying to do that, it cut off, I think it was Blake Cashman there, and that didn't help the cause either. But seeing Jalen Petrie make that kind of mistake hurts. But, I mean, I don't know what he was trying to do. I think he thought Darius Slayton was going to keep running more towards the sideline, and had he done that, Darius Slayton would have got blown up. But he was able to stop on a dime, pivot, go back in, and take off up the sideline for 6.
Exactly, yeah. And it's unfortunate, right? Although that could have been maybe a block in the back, it's unfortunate. But hey, he's going to have to learn on plays like this. I wouldn't say, Nova, that the same mistake is happening every play. But Jalen Petrie has had a tendency during this season to be a little too aggressive. It's unfortunate, but it happened. It happened.
And being aggressive isn't a bad thing, but when you're overcommitting like that and playing too aggressive, that's when it can lead to sloppy play and overall hurt your team. But again, he's a rookie, so I'm not too concerned about the issue. but that's just something he's gonna have to work on and clean up and going on to be a part of the future.
Exactly. It's unfortunate, but it happened. All right. Y'all know I've been giving love to my boy 84, as Eden said. It's Tegan Toriano learned his name. He deserves all the love. What's up, Alpha? Good to see you, my guy. See you on the chat there. Tegan Toriano. I need y'all to understand, all game, he had the assignment of blocking Kayvon Thibodeau. Was that the 5th pick in the draft this year, right? He was the 5th pick.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's why he wears number 5. He had the crazy assignment of blocking this man all game. And I need y'all to understand just how good he was. Pay attention right here. Look at that. No, Matt will be in Houston. Good stuff. Matt will be in Houston tomorrow, actually. Look at this. I need y'all to see that. I need y'all to understand this is what he was drafted for. He's drafted to make blocks like that. That's what we're looking for out of a blocking tight end, but he can also catch. I'm telling y'all, he looks like Gronk. He plays like Gronk. He might be a baby Gronk.
Baby Gronk. And I'm going to touch on something Nova said here, or address it to you, but he said that the coaching staff is bad at disciplining the players. Do you think we need to bring David Culley back for the disciplinary purposes?
No.
Are you sure?
Let the man stay in Cabo with his however many millions of dollars he's got. He does not need to come back. He was great at establishing a culture, but that's what the coaching staff is supposed to do. And if they're not good at disciplining players, which I disagree with, because Jalen Petrie was not in a lot in that second half. Was he hurt? I don't know. But I do think Lovey, he doesn't discipline them in the same way that Culley did. Culley would just hold you out all game or not play you at all. What happens to players under
Lovey?
Under Lovey is they just don't play the rest of the game, and he'll put somebody else in who's willing to do their job. And that's, I mean, I think it's kind of the same thing, right? It's a similar thing. Players want to play. Doesn't always work like that. Look at this, y'all. I need y'all to see this. Stands him up there. That's what you want to see. You want to see that out of your blocking tight end rookie out of Oregon State University, Tegan Toriano. I got that man's signature. Give him some love, y'all. We're going to see him. I'm going to be shouting for this man at the game. He's a great player.
Jed, do you think Lovey's gone after the season? Something to think about. As of right now, David Culley's 2021 Texans have more wins than Lovie Smith's 2022 Texans.
Yeah, that's true.
And you could argue that Lovie Smith has a better team, but
he absolutely has a better team.
It seems that David Culley's Texans was slightly better coached.
I don't think they were better coached. I think they were in a better position, perhaps, or they played freer, but I don't think they were better coached. I think they're better coached now. I just think they're not finishing. I think that's because they're not playing complementary. The offense is anemic, to say the least. Is that the Tim Kelly being gone effect and the Pep Howard, the Pep effect? I don't know. We'll have to see, right? Maybe if next season they say, "Hey, Pep, you're back down to QB coach," and we bring in the coach, whoever's going to coach the next year, and Lovey gets moved up similar to Romeo Crennel. I don't know. We'll have to kind of see how that plays out. But I don't know what's going to happen. I don't pretend to know what's going to happen because I don't have sources. I just use logic. Use my own mind. And that's how we get brought right back to the middle. We use a little bit of logic. That's all that's got to happen. All right, so this next play is unfortunate, but I wanted to show it because it's been happening. All right, Matt, what you think here?
Got run up the middle. It looks like Damian Pierce did good, trying to follow his blocks, but the line just gave out too quick and it collapsed on him.
Yep. And what did that lead to? A fumble. And unfortunately, this is the first one that Pierce loses, right? Like every other one's been recovered by the team, but this is the first one that's lost. Like he loses. And you could see the frustration on his face, especially when you're watching it live. He's angry. He's upset. It's a good play by the defense. That ball security, it's got to be there. But one thing I've noticed is that Lovey he still trusts him because he's back out there the next drive. Unlike the last time he fumbled, but like in the first couple of games of the season, Lovey would pull him and we never saw him again. We got a healthy dose of Rex after that. I think here we see that there's trust. We can see that he is the heartbeat of the team. He's the best player. It's just unfortunate, and an unfortunate play at an unfortunate time. And that's what it is. It is what it is. Fumble there. I think he'll be better coming back. 31. It's unlucky, big dog, but it is what it is. Let's look at it from the other side real quick to kind of see. Here's Teagan again, my man. Teagan moves mountains here. I think the wrong person was followed. You follow Teagan, don't follow Akins. Akins ain't a blocker. Teagan is. Look at that. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. He probably should have bounced this outside. But it is what it is. He loses the ball. The play happened. It is what it is now. We live and we learn. All right. So let's get on to the last play that I have here. It is right here. All right. 2 plays. I don't know. Yeah. If you're going to be at the game, Alpha, I will definitely be there. Yeah, we can definitely try and get a meetup going. I'm going to be in Houston on Saturday night. I think for those of you who are in Houston and want to go to the game or just don't want to go to the game, Saturday, I know I'm going to be in Houston. Kelly and I will be. We're going to be meeting up with Matt. We're probably going to go to dinner and have a good time. If anybody wants to meet up there, Alpha, you're invited as well. Anybody else is in Houston, come through. We're going to have a lot of fun. We'll talk about that a little later. We'll get something set up here. But let's watch this last play. Let's see what's going on here. Now, what you guys don't see, I want y'all to understand what's happening here. Too high safety. It's essentially prevent defense because they're 15 yards off the line of scrimmage here. Wide set. We've got 7 dudes on the line here. I think this is Pierce right here. We've got enough protection here. Mills is in the shotgun. He should see what's coming. So let's look at this throw. Now, keep in mind, the plays before this was the touchdown pass that was called back because of holding to Brandon Cooks. And we had another good throw, I believe, to Chris Moore earlier. Nico. Both of those were called back. They were both good throws. But then we get this throw, and Mills is panicking again. Let's see what happens. We know what happens. We know it's an interception here. And it's woefully underthrown. Now, again, as I was saying, I went through this a lot. One thing that needs to be stated is Mills constantly underthrows passes. He never overthrows. He's always underthrowing. And that's unfortunate. He needs to get better, especially if he wants to be more aggressive. He needs to start overthrowing. I would prefer you to overthrow than underthrow. Because underthrowing, that's what happens. You get picked off. But there's something else that's going on here that I want y'all to see. Looky there. Looky there. Looky here. Either of these throws could have been made. Either of them could have been made. You could have also thrown right here. Any of those three throws could have been made. It is kind of a noodle arm thing. I don't think it's that he's got a noodle arm. I think he doesn't trust his deep ball accuracy for whatever reason. I know there's a lot of people on Twitter and other social media outlets who've been saying that his deep ball accuracy was one of the most accurate passes. He hasn't been showing that. Not this year. It's unfortunate. He makes the right read, right? But in this case, I do think this might have been the better read, OJ Howard here. He could have gone to Dorsett if he throws that further. Or he could go right here, although that wouldn't be a first down most likely. If he's wanting the first down, which is way upfield there, closer to the 10, probably should go here to Moore or over here to Howard, because Howard probably gets much more space. But he makes a throw with time, by the way. He's not getting pressured. Here's when he throws his ball. Well, he is getting pressured. But he had time to look. He only looks one way, and here's the proof that he only looks one way. Let's look at it from this angle. So you can kind of see what I'm seeing. Like, you don't even give that a chance. OJ Howard was open that whole time. He never was not open. Like, that should be your first read. That should be your first play, but he didn't even throw there. He knew where he was going with the ball. The ball was going to Dorsett. He underthrows Dorsett. Mistakes were made. I guess he was trying to look off the safety. Didn't happen. We all knew it was going to happen.
I at least like the aggressiveness with him trying to go to Dorsett there, because it shows like he wants to throw that ball, but it's like he doesn't trust himself enough to make the throw accurately or like precisely enough to deliver it. But like, there's a time and a place to throw that ball. Like, if game's on the line and there's not much time left, sure, go ahead, throw that ball. But the right read there is 100% OJ Howard, because whether or not he can get into space and get a little bit of yak, that would have put you about, because I think this play was on second down, that would have put you about, it was on third down? All right.
I think. It is second down, you're right.
Yeah. So this play was on second down. The ball to OJ gets you at least back up to where you'd be 3rd and 10, if not maybe 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7 best case scenario, 3rd and 7 worst case, or 3rd and 10 worst case scenario. That's still a heck of a lot better than 3rd and 15 or a costly interception.
Well, if he gets hit right here, it's 3rd and 10. He probably gets 5 yards, maybe even 6. You're probably looking at 3rd and 4. But it keeps you in field goal range.
Yeah.
Which is what you needed. So, yeah, it's unfortunate. He's making bad throws. And as Nova says here, last year he did have a lot of overthrows. He was either overthrowing badly or underthrowing badly, right? And that's what's happening. He's just underthrowing this year. It's not that he can't get the ball downfield, because we've seen him make deep throws, 50, 60. He overthrew Chris Moore a bunch last year, way out in front. He's done it before, and they've had to dive and make catches, and they couldn't run it in for 6, right? He's done that a lot. He did it with Nico this year a couple of times in the Chargers game, right? He's been able to do it. The problem is he's like he's throwing in practice or training camp rather than throwing in a game. And that's a problem. That's a big problem, right? Because we need him to be aggressive, especially if we want to win. I don't think he is going to find it, though, to kind of go back to what you're saying here, Nova. I don't think he is going to find it fast. I think he's not going to find it at all this year. I think he won't find it until next year. By that time, we might have drafted the QB that's about to replace him. All right. I am going to stop sharing for a bit, because we have reached the end of the plays that I wanted to show y'all. But if anybody would like me to review anything else, go ahead and place that in the chat. If there's anything else y'all wanted to see, I can tell you there was a lot of underthrows. There's a lot of times where Mills underthrows. A lot of times. But before we go into those plays, and if you guys want me to, let's talk about a couple of things that we saw in the game. I want to start with Mills because I know a lot of people are really, really down on him. And remember, I'm here to bring you right back to the middle. That's the whole point that I'm here for, right? To have a good conversation and a good debate in where we can agree. There are two things that we can agree on, I think, Matt. Mills is not playing great. Not at all.
The hourglass is slowly running out of time.
Exactly. The other thing that we can agree is that it is not just Mills who's playing bad. There are other people and other things that are happening that are holding him back. I think we can all agree on that. The offensive line has been inconsistent sometimes, and they do get pressure in his face, right? It seems that players are quitting on him, especially wide receivers. They're giving up on routes. We saw that in the Titans game. We didn't see it so much in the Eagles game, but we definitely saw it in the Titans game. It seems that people are giving up on routes. They're not running all the way through. They're not playing as hard as they could. Some players are, but others aren't. It feels like Mills is trying to play as hard as he can, but he just isn't getting that support. So both of those things are true. I think I saw this on Twitter. Mills is like, he's like he is bad. I said that. He's playing bad. That I just said it. He's not horrible, but he's bad. Here's what it is. It's like when you go in, somebody said it. Mills is like when you go into a movie and you expect it to be horrible. But in that horrible movie, there are really good points where you're like, man, that was a really good scene. And it makes the movie better. So it's not as bad as you thought. That's literally how Mills is playing right now. It's like you're watching the worst movie you've ever watched. It's got really good points. So it's not as bad as it could have been, but it's still bad. That's what we're seeing from Mills right now. What were the good throws? There weren't many. I think there was 2 good throws that he had. One was to Cooks, and where Cooks has a problem with jumping. And I can try and find that throw. I think that's a little earlier. Let me see if I can't find it real quick. Give me a second, and I'll look to find that. But yeah, Mills is bad. He's been playing bad, and it's not the funnest. We're having to watch Mills play terrible. What do you think about that, Matt?
I agree. When I got the tickets for the game, I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was gonna be at least seeing a 3-4 win Texans team. Like, there was gonna be showing at least a little bit of fight. They've been showing fight, just not a very good fight. Like, it's been like, it's almost been like in Rocky IV, Apollo vs. Drago. Like, it's a fight, but I mean, it's no Rocky versus Drago, but yeah, it's kind of how it's been. It's not been the best. Let me see if I can't find a good throw. In fact, I don't think I recorded a good throw from Mills this whole game. Let's see. Okay, here, I'll actually use this play. I'll try and get to it real quick. What was the play when Kayvon was mimicking Davis?
Well, I'll bring that up here in a second, but let me get this play out here real quick. All right, I'm at the wrong play. Okay. Let me share my screen real quick. All right, so let's see. So this play is pretty fun. I liked it. I thought it was really good. This is the first time that we saw this game that Mills actually beat the blitz. And he did it by getting the ball to Rex. This is probably his best throw of the game and his best decision of the game. He gets the ball to Rex and he beats the blitz. It's one of, I think, 2 times where that actually happens. All game. That's literally the good. That's it. That's all. The rest of the time was not so great. It was him getting bailed out by his other teammates. And it was ugly. Let me see if I can't find that play, though, from Kayvon Thibodeau. Let's see. Let me see here. 26-23. I want y'all to take a look at Kayvon here, because it's hilarious. It is greatness at its finest. Kayvon is right here, by the way. Bad play. What is he doing here? What's happening here? Let's look at this from another angle so we can see it again. What's happening here? Is Kayvon mimicking Mills' happy feet? Yes, he is. Ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing Kayvon Thibodeau mock Davis Mills. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it because it was funny. And I know it's my team, but that was funny. That was funny, y'all. It was funny. I liked it. It was greatness. Yeah, it was bad. All right. Let me pull up the rest of the story here. All right. Getting off of Mills, because Mills has been hashed out enough. Let's talk about Petrie a bit. He's been a bit over aggressive. What do you think, Matt?
I agree.
Yeah, I think that's been his knock as a rookie. He's been a bit over aggressive. He's not been making the plays that we saw him making in the first couple of weeks, mainly because he's been playing way too aggressive. He's learning. He's a rookie. I think next year he'll be much better. But that aggressiveness is getting exposed. He's not garbage. I've seen some people say Petrie's garbage. That ain't it, Chief. He's getting exposed because he's aggressive. And that's part of his play style. It's not that it's bad. It's just he's getting exposed because he's aggressive. And it is what it is. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I think we need to move on to what needs to happen. What's good? Linebacker play. Yeah, I agree, Eden. I ain't worried about it. He's going to learn. He's only a rookie. You're right.
I believe in Jordan's breakdown of Jalen Petrie. He coined him as the human missile. So, so far he's living up to that nickname. But the problem with, another problem with Jalen Petrie is he's got to run from sideline to sideline a lot. So could he be just making these mistakes because he's tired and just making silly mistakes? I hope so, because you see him making up for a lot of poor linebacker play. You see him making up for a lot of Jonathan Owens. So he's constantly just running from sideline to sideline. Plays when he's getting in the backfield, you see him constantly just charging full head of steam, diving, trying to make the tackle. So I love the aggressiveness we're seeing from Jalen Petrie, but he's got to learn to set the tone with his aggressiveness, not just fly off the handle and try to make the big play every time. But
yeah, I think a player he needs to learn a little from, and I'm not saying because of his talent level, but because of his decision making. And he's made great decisions every time he's been on the field this year, is Eric Murray. We don't talk about Eric Murray. He has played actually a decent amount. But what Eric Murray has been doing has been good. Every time he's out there, especially when he's out there for Jonathan Owens, is he makes the play that has to be made. He makes a decision, he goes for it, and he gets there, right? That's what we're looking for out of our safety there, which is particularly Petrie and Owens. I like what Eric Murray is bringing to the table. I think he's out-talented by Owens and Petrie, but his decision-making is superior to both of them. And that's what makes him a little bit cooler to watch in my book, because he's never made bad plays while I've been watching him. But again, let's get back to the linebacker play, because I don't want to hold y'all for too much longer. I want to see, and everybody in the chat's going to agree with me, I want to see more Cashman and Harris. I need to see it. Harris has been playing better and better. This was probably his best game that we've seen from him. He was all over the place. He was making stops. He lived in the backfield. And Cashman gets a sack this week. Man was all over it. We need to see more of them. Kirksey needs to be, I know he's captain, but Kirksey needs to be playing less. There needs to be less Kirksey, more Cashman, and more Harris is playing pretty much every snap anyway, but we need to see both of them together a lot more. Maybe if we want to have a third linebacker, that can be Kirksey. Maybe some Wallow in there. But the two that have played the best has been Cashman and Harris. You got anything else on that, Matt?
No, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head there, Jay.
That's good stuff. I like when I hit the nail on the head. I've been saying it. I said it for the last couple of weeks. Tegan Quatoriano. There needs to be a discussion about this man. Tegan Quatoriano was a guy who nobody knew his name. I bet y'all don't even know how to spell his name. But Tegan Quatoriano, I'll put it out here. When he signed the stuff that I had him sign, which was a football and a towel, I had no idea who the heck he was. At the time, Kelly actually had to look up who the heck this guy is. Kelly's over here, by the way, so that's why you see me looking over this, because she's right there. I had no idea who he was. Kelly was like, who the heck is this guy? I was like, and then we saw his name. It was like, oh, Tegan Quatoriano. Who the heck is he? I don't know. I don't even know if he'll make the team. He played good at training camp, but I was like, I don't even know who will make the team. Pharaoh Brown's here. We got this guy, right? He has shown that he is probably our best tight end right now, especially when it comes to blocking. He's made a catch. He's got a touchdown catch in his first game, his first NFL game. Got a touchdown catch in his first preseason game. It's ugly. We ain't got a better tight end room than him, but he's the best, man. He's the best.
All I have to say, Tegan's going to make an excellent tight end 2 once Darnell Washington gets to town.
Facts. Once we get Darnell Washington, it'll be a great day. A great day indeed, because we'll have 2 blocking tight ends who are movers of men, and it'll be fantastic. I'll be all about that life. My last point is kind of speaking about Harris and Petrie, Tegan Quatoriano. My last point is that all the rookies are playing well. They've all stepped up. They're all the best players on our team. Think about it. Petrie, best safety. Stingley, I would say Stingley's probably our best corner already. I know Nelson has had a couple good plays, but Nelson he's been great. Stingley's still our best. Harris, best linebacker, straight out the rip, right? I wouldn't say our best offensive lineman is Jalen Green, but he's the best tackle. He's the best interior lineman that we have. Kenyon Green.
You said Jalen Green.
Oh, my bad. That's the wrong sport. Yeah, Hughes and Titus. Tunsil, they probably got. Yeah, Pierce is definitely making the Pro Bowl. He's he might be all pro. Honestly, he's playing well as an RB. And then, I mean, our best running back is obviously the rookie, right? Receiver wise, we haven't got to see Mechie yet, so it's kind of unfortunate. But pretty much every player that we've drafted, Teagan is our best tight end now, I think. And yes, I cannot wait for Brevin to go. I hope he never wears a Texans uniform again. He is our worst tight end. He is terrible. He is so bad. It's so bad. But yeah, I think our rookies are playing extremely well. I think Nick Caserio hit it out of the park. I don't think he could have done any better with this draft. But you got anything for me, Matt, on that?
All I have to say, if Jalen Green is one of our best offensive linemen, then that man is dominating with the Rockets. That man is instantly an H-Town legend.
Instantly, indeed.
Next thing you know, you're going to see him robbing home runs in left field at Minute Maid.
Imagine if an NBA player, I'm going to pose this question for everybody. Imagine if an NBA player went and played outfield in the MLB. How insane do you think those catches would be? We all know what Chaz McCormick did with the Angels in the outfield catch. But imagine an NBA player, say Ja Morant, making that same catch. Ja Morant would have jumped.
No-fly zone. Like, no ball is touching the ground.
Ja Morant would have scaled the entire. He would have been up there. Ja Morant's got like a 50-inch vertical. He bounces on trampolines. That's insane.
If I had to bet, Ja Morant could probably rob a home run over the monster.
Nah, man, the monster's tall. That's going too far. It's going too far.
I don't know. Ja Morant can probably scale that wall.
No. Let's talk about this last subject that Eden's brought up: Pro Bowlers. I do like this question. I do agree. I think Pierce definitely makes it. I think he's a top 5 running back right now in the league. Easily. It's not close. I think he's a top 5 running back in fantasy too, actually. I have him on my fantasy team. He's been great. I think Tunsil definitely makes it. He's been a top 5 lineman all year. Titus has been in the top tackles all year, so I definitely think he has to make it. And Hughes is leading the Texans in sacks, and he's one of the top guys in the league. I also think Desmond King makes it. He's quietly been one of our best corners. I think he deserves to make it. I think Stingley may get a nod, but I think Sauce is going to get more of a nod over him. But I think Stingley deserves a nod as well. Anybody else you can think of, Matt?
Honestly, I think it'll just be Dameon Pierce and Larry Tunsil if we do have Pro Bowlers. Simply because the fact that the defensive ends and defensive linemen in the AFC are absolutely monsters. So Jerry Hughes is going to get overshadowed, and I don't think he makes it. And then same thing with Titus Howard. I think he gets overshadowed too, because at the end of the day, the Pro Bowl is just a popularity contest. Hence, Dameon Pierce is going to make it, because do I think rookies should make the Pro Bowl? If they have a good enough season, yeah. So I think Dameon Pierce will end up being a Pro Bowler this year. But do I think Titus Howard will be one? I don't think so. So my 2 Pro Bowlers for the team are Dameon Pierce and Larry Tunsil.
2 Pro Bowlers. Eden, you and I are best friends, bro.
Hey, I agree. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I agree. This is my favorite player on the Texans, period. It's not close right now. Besides the obvious players, my low-key guy who's a special teams player, and just favorite player in general, Tremont Smith deserves to be a special teams player in the Pro Bowl. That man has been fantastic, especially at the gunner. He's been great. I want to kind of go back to what Nova was saying real quick. Actually, we'll come back to that here in a second. I don't know if there's any other players outside of those 3 who are locks, really, that you're saying. Dameon Pierce, Larry Tunsil, and maybe Tremont. I don't think he's a lock either. I don't know if anybody else. OJ Howard has not been great. Maybe they throw Kenyon Green in there as a rookie guard. But I'm not. Steven Nelson is having a good year as well, but I think Stingley's having a little bit better of a year, especially as a rookie. I think they're both having really good years. I think they both get snubbed. Honestly, they might be alternates, but I do think I think unfortunately they're snubbed. But definitely, I think our rookies deserve. The one that deserves the most is Dameon Pierce. 4th round pick, comes in and is just outplaying every other running back in his class and most of them in the league. That's crazy. Let's move on real quick. Let's get to this. Nova, I think that's not necessarily true. Brevin has been making the same mistakes all the time. He makes the same mistakes. He just always makes the same mistakes. I don't think that's I think that's him not he's relying too much on his athleticism. Roy is just getting bodied. Like, he's just not good enough. And I don't think that's a coaching staff. They have the same defensive coach. Like, Lovey is still the defensive coordinator and head coach. That's not changed. But Roy is still getting blown off the ball. Heinisch is out playing, right? Malik Collins is still playing well. I think when we're looking at those players, some of those players, Nico's playing well. Mills has regressed horribly. Who else? Roy. Who else is from that class? Who am I missing? Who the heck am I missing from that class?
See, Mills, Roy, Nico.
Brevin is obviously from that class.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Tremont from that? No, Tremont. Was Tremont from that class?
No, I don't think so.
I don't remember who else is from that class, honestly, and that's kind of shows you something there. I'm betting I'm forgetting somebody. I'm like, man, I should not have forgotten him.
Mm-hmm. My thing with Roy Lopez is, in the offseason, he was talking about how he was down like 15 to 20 pounds or something like that. So I think that is affecting his game a lot, because when he came in, like, even though he was bigger, Grant Waller, yeah. While Roy Lopez was bigger, he looked fluid. He looked natural. Like, he was dominating guys down there, and like, he was having fun doing it. He was hitting the salsa dance almost every week, but we've hardly seen him do it this week. And I honestly think him losing that weight is a major factor.
I kind of agree. I don't think it's the coaching issue, because if it was, the change in coaching staff wasn't a lot. I think they only changed like 4 or 5 coaches. It wasn't a lot of coaches.
Yeah, no, because Lovie Smith, he's still here, obviously. Pep Hamilton, even though he wasn't really calling the plays last season, he was still in the building, so the guys still know him and trust him. So I don't know.
There's not a lot of people who have changed. This is mainly the same class, same coaching staff. But I do want to kind of bring this up. Brevin's problem, I don't know if it's coaching. Brevin made a lot of great catches in college with 1 foot down. He did not make a lot of NFL catches. I kind of went back and watched a little bit of Brevin. He did not make a lot of NFL catches. And when he's being asked to do that in the NFL, he cannot do it. He hasn't been able to do it. That's been his problem, is he can't get both feet down. He routinely, and this is happening last year, he routinely made, he never stays where he's supposed to. He's kind of ugly with his route running. He cuts it off too soon, or he just kind of goes a little too far out. That's always been there for Brevin. He has
another thing with Brevin.
Crisped it up.
Sorry to cut you off, but another thing with Brevin from his time in Miami is a lot of his plays or either 1 foot toe drags or wide open in space with plenty of blockers, and he was able to get an insane amount of yak. So, and he just hasn't been able to produce that in the NFL. So I think this year is also his put up or shut up year, and he may find himself jobless unless some team this offseason decides to give him a practice squad deal or just a low level deal that will have him riding the bench and come in on not very important situations.
Yeah, I agree big time. That is pretty much all I had to discuss. If you guys have any questions again, feel free to ask them. No, we're coming in with the question about Booker. Booker's been starting. He's been playing every game, and he's been playing well. He's actually been playing better than Roy. He's playing pretty well. I haven't really done any film study on him because I haven't done a lot of film study on the defensive line as a whole or any specific player. This game, I watched Mills a bit more to kind of see, was there any good? And there really wasn't. But Booker was drafted this draft, I think in the 5th or 6th round.
Yeah, something like that.
And he's been playing fantastic.
Yeah,
Thomas Booker's been really good.
The defensive line hasn't been too much of a bright spot. About the only, outside the defensive ends, which we should be getting Juggernaut back, so that should help a little bit, but I don't know how much it's going to help because earlier in the season when he was playing, it didn't seem like he was doing all that much, but I mean, it's something. Maybe he's come back more rejuvenated, but the defensive line hasn't been a bright spot. About the only 3 spots have been, the only 3 good spots have been Malik Collins, Thomas Booker, and Kurt Hinish. And Kurt Hinish was an undrafted rookie, and Jerry Hughes, but he's more defensive end that's been about the only bright spots on the defensive line. So it's been nothing to write home about. Hence, I think if we draft Jalen Carter, that'd be an insane boost, and the run defense gets much better. But like I said earlier in the stream, I'm not opposed to Bryce Young.
Yeah. Bryce Young, I've kind of started to. I know a while back I said I was kind of on the CJ Stroud train. After watching Bryce Young, I hate to say it, man, his pro comp. That's Deshaun Watson, without the booty tickling. It's there. He makes all the throws. He makes all the plays. Amari. Let's kind of address this from Eden. Eno, I really like. He's a pass catching back, and it's what we want, right? We want a better pass catching back than Rex, who's younger and who's hungry. Not saying Rex is not hungry, but he's not young.
He's old.
Yeah, he old. He's been around a while. Like the man as a leader and maybe as a coach, especially if he comes back as a coach next year. Good stuff right there. But Eno, that's a great signing. Amari, however, is Kiki QT reborn. I'm not so sure that should have been our first pickup. Maybe he is better than somebody else, but I don't think that was our best pickup. I don't think he's here for a long time. He might be here for a good time, but he ain't here for a long time. That's my thought. What you got on that, Matt?
I completely agree with everything you said about Benjamin, because to me, he's a better pass catcher than Dameon Pierce, but he has the body style of Dameon Pierce. He's a short, bulky bruiser who can also catch out of the backfield and run a route. So that's going to be scary.
Yeah, if he gets to play time.
Yeah, if he gets the play time, and especially if we extend them so these two can grow together. Oh, that's going to be scary. But then something I may get a little heat for. I was higher on Kiki QT than most other Texans fans were because Kiki could always seem to make a play in the most random moments, but every time he got the ball, he always seemed to be too aggressive with it and trying to force an outstanding play. So he always fumbled the ball. Because I remember it was a game against the Colts. I forgot how long ago it was. Kiki QT sprinting up the field, and he got met at the goal line by, I think, 2 defenders, and he tried to make an insane play, and he coughed the ball up, and it ultimately lost us the game.
Got him. Yep, that was Shaq Griffin got him.
Yeah, but, like, I didn't hate Kiki QT. He just, like, he was kind of like Jalen Petrie. Like, he tried forcing, like, way too much aggressive stuff, and it ultimately cost the team. So, maybe Amari Rodgers just needed to change the scenery, and maybe he can produce here. But with Davis Mills at quarterback and Pep Hamilton calling the plays, I don't know how much he'll be able to produce. But I mean, I'm excited to see how the experiment goes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for the experiment, but will he be here for a long time? Probably not.
Probably not.
I think what you're saying here is a lot. Eden, is that a lot of his fumbles are on punt returns. Kiki had that problem too. Unfortunately, he had the problem of fumbling on punt returns. I'm upset a bit that we didn't go after more defensive tackles. I'm upset that we didn't. I'm especially upset that we didn't go after Ndamukong Suh. That was kind of my thing. I didn't even realize he was still out there. I thought he
just signed with the Eagles.
Yeah, he just signed with the Eagles. I'm like, come on, we could have had Ndamukong Suh for nothing. That would have been great. Yeah, super cheap rookie contract means we can just offload him. He's like $900,000 or something like that. Yeah. We're probably going to get rid of him. Same with Eric Murray and probably Cooks next year. And Mechie's back. Hopefully Mechie is doing great. Looks like he's doing great. Still got all his hair. Means radio. I think he's done with chemo. He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, in the last update the Texans posted about Mechie, it was back in October for Cancer Awareness Month. It was I think he said he was back to doing like his normal like regular workout routines and like lifting the same and exercising the same as he did before. So I think all that's left to do is get him back on the pads and evaluate.
Yeah. I would like to see Mechie in pads. That would be pretty cool. This is my guy Joey, my man.
Hit him with the Jeremy Pena.
Hit him with the Jeremy Pena. Gotta have love for my man Joey. Good to see you, man. Why would he come to a 1-win team? Money. That's why. Money talks, bruh. And we need the help. I mean, I'm not saying we sign him for multiple years, but hey, money is the reason. Much love for you, man. Good to see you back in the Texans Thoughts chat. Good talking to you as well. Any other questions you guys got? If not, while you guys are putting your questions in the chat, as a reminder, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe on this. And let me know what you want me to focus on for the next video. If there's any players you want me to focus on, or any plays in particular you want me to focus on, or anything in particular you'd like me to focus on. Also, remember that the podcast links are below. That is for Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And remember, all of our information, that is my information and Matt's information over there, it is also in the description. Hit us up on Twitter if you would like to. You can also hit me up on email. That is at themoderatetexan@gmail.com. Mills is bad. We've already said it, man. I don't know what else we got to say. He's still bad.
For you, Jay. What's the likelihood of landing Sean Payton and Lamar Jackson?
Let me go ahead and put it to you in betting numbers. Plus 3,500. That's really high, by the way. That's like really bad. Like if we got them, we millionaires, right? We bet on that. I don't think I don't think it's very likely. Maybe like a 1% chance, 0.5%. If that happened, I might die. Like I've seen
not the case.
Like I might die. Like I might just be like, I've seen all I need to see in life. It's all good. It's all fine. It's all dandy, but it's probably not going to happen. I agree here. It ain't happening. If it happens,
a fan can dream.
Yeah, a fan can dream, but it won't happen. if it does happen, I don't know what I'll do.
Hey, there was one time I was playing a franchise mode on Madden, and I signed Lamar Jackson to a max deal, so all that was missing was Sean Payton, so Madden never lies.
Yeah, Madden never lies, right? Madden also is the reason you bought a Davis Mills jersey. So let's
Madden is the reason I bought a Davis Mills. Hey, let's keep like my Davis Mills closet, just stay there.
Yeah.
Like let's keep that hidden.
Yeah, that's bad stuff. That's bad stuff. All right, y'all. We got no more questions. Thursday night football is on, and it seems that there is a continuing tradition of not getting touchdowns on Thursday night football. But you know what's funny is that the Texans and Eagles got touchdowns on Thursday night football. Thursday night football Kings? I don't know. It is what it is.
Christian Watson has a touchdown already tonight.
Nice, but they couldn't get the extra point because it's 7-6.
Oh.
Tennessee. So, with that being said, y'all know what time it is. It's time to leave. It's time for us to continue to have our good time and live for a long time. It's been great to see y'all here. Joey, much love to you. Eden, much love to you. Nova, it's good to see you in here as well. Matt, as always, it's good to have you on. It's been a pleasure. That's Money Matt right there. I'm Jay, the Moderate Texan. We have been looking through the darkness. We've been peering through. We found the light, and we brought it all right back to the middle. You know how it is, y'all. We out. See you next week.